Okay. So again, ang ating discussion ngayon is criminal procedure and court testimony. So then after that, of course, this is our last day ng lecture natin for 3 days na tuloy-tuloy. Then I will be announcing yung next natin na meeting dito. So dito, kung titingnan niyo ang bagong TUS, nakalagay dito yung dapat nating i-discuss under the criminal procedure and court testimony. Okay, so sumakit rin yung ulo ko kagabi kasi sobrang init, no, ng panahon. Sa inyo rin, dapat uminom kayo palagi ng tubig kasi ano yan, medyo delikado yung init ngayon. So dito, number 1 or 6.1, compare the jurisdiction of courts. Of course, i-compare natin yung different jurisdiction ng korte, ng mga korte natin dito sa Pilipinas. Sip on the go, sir. Sip on the go. Next, 6.2, discuss the fundamental concepts of criminal procedure. So, i-discuss natin yung basic concept ng what is criminal procedure is. Then, third, we will determine the rights of the accused during trial. 6.4, evaluate the procedure in the conduct of arrest with or without a warrant and a search and seizure. Then, 6.5, illustrate the procedure in filing cases, conducting PI or preliminary investigation, inquest proceeding, including barangay justice system. Utilize the process and application for bail, arraignment, pre-trial, and trial. 6.7, illustrate the procedure in presentation of witnesses, including child witness, particularly in the conduct of the direct examination and cross-examination class. So ito lang yung mga basic na dapat nating malaman na lalabas posible sa board exam ninyo. So, dapat ma-explain natin yan lahat, yung pinaka-basic. Then, masusobrahan rin natin, di ba? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na hindi nakalagay dyan sa TOS, hindi natin i-explain. Malay mo, kung susundin lang TOS, okay. Kung hindi, okay pa rin. Makakasagot at makakasagot pa rin kayo doon. Okay, so dito tayo, class. So, ito yung under sa criminal and jurisprudence. Kung titingnan ninyo para makita ninyo, class, ang lalabas na possible question under the introduction to CGS is 5 points. Okay, 5 points ang lalabas dyan. Ang human rights naman, 5 ring question dyan. Ang book 1, 20 questions. Ang pinakamadaming class is book 2, 30 items ang lalabas. Ang evidence, 18. Ang criminal procedure is 22. So, ang pinakamarami is ang book 2 class followed by crime procedure, crime pro, and court testimony kasi na pinag-isa na sila. Then followed by book 1, evidence, and same numbers ang lalabas dito sa introduction to CGS and human rights education class. So nakita na ba? Nakita na ninyo? Nakuha na ba? Nakuha 19.
Yes, sir.
21, tapos 26, then 30. So parang ganito, ang sa book 2, sa remembering 5 ang possible na lalabas kasi 30 points, di ba? Or 30 items ang possible na lalabas. Sa understanding, 2 rin. Sa applying, 19, and analyzing, 4. So basically, dapat na master nyo yung concept, yung principle, particularly yung elements of crime, lalong-lalo na sa book 2 class. Kasi yan yung palagi or dyan nilang kinukuha ang palaging tanong sa board exam, lalo na pagdating sa criminal law. Okay, nakuha ba? Okay, we will continue with our discussion class. Okay, so nandiyan na kayo. So we will identify what rule under the criminal procedure is this one. Okay, so anong rule yan? So, but of course, wala pa kayong idea. May idea na ba kayo nito or wala pa? Wala pa? Or hindi nyo pa napanood yung previous lectures ko? Wala pa to?
Ano yan?
Meron. Okay, so dito tayo, class. So hindi nyo ma-identify what rule ang bail. So mamaya babalikan na lang natin. What rule ang bail, preliminary investigation, trial, appeal, and search and seizure. Ganito, class. Sundan natin paano ninyo ma-memorize ang tinatawag natin, class, na criminal procedure. Of course, this is the original of Crime Coach Philippines. This is the original of Crime Coach Philippines, class. Kung may gumagaya man or kung kapag may gumagamit rin ito, alam niyo na ang original niyan is from Crime Coach Philippines. So, ang criminal procedure, kasi kami lang yung mga gumagawa nito ng yung mga acronym, mnemonics. Meron naman yung iba, pero sa amin talaga yung original na ganito. Okay. Chachibohkia lang daw ng tandaan ni Robin. So ito class. So under ang criminal procedure natin, magsa-start yan from Rule 110 or 110 to Rule 127. So 27 rules of criminal procedure. So ang acronym natin dyan class is we have the 3 PABRAM, PRET, CHUD, NAPS Pro. Again, we have the 3 PABRAM, PRET, CHUD, NAPS Pro. So dapat sundan niyo ako dyan kahit nasa ano kayo, nanonood kayo online or nakikinig kayo online. So dapat, alam niyo under the criminal procedure, we have the 3 PABRAM, PRET, CHUD, NAPS Pro. So meaning class, unahin natin yung sabi niya 3P. Okay, 3P. Followed by A, followed by B, followed by R, followed by A, followed by M. Then we have the PRE. Okay, tapos letter T, tapos JUD. Then we have N, we have A. Tapos 3P na naman, then S, then PRO. So yan yung ating basis class para ma-memorize natin or ma-master natin ang criminal procedure. Tandaan nyo class, any violation of the procedure, halimbawa magkamali, halimbawa hindi ka pa nag-conduct ng tinatawag natin na preliminary investigation, tapos nag-conduct na ng trial and hearing, of course, there is something wrong. So pag ganun class, kapag there is a problem or there is a violation of the procedure, it is tantamount to the dismissal of the case. So pwedeng ma-dismiss ang kaso class kapag hindi nasunod ang criminal procedure or ang procedure na kailangan natin na sundin. Kasi nga tinawag na procedure or ibig sabihin that is process. So meaning dapat in order. So pag sinabi nating Rule 110 to Rule 127, so we have the acronym dito. Sabayan niyo ako dyan. So we have the 3 PABRAM, PRET, CHUD, NAPS Pro. Again, we have the 3 PABRAM, PRET, CHUD, NAPS Pro. Okay, so we will continue na with our discussion. So sabi niya, ang mauna daw under the Rule 110 is yung 3P. So ano yung pinaka-rule, ano yung Rule 110 natin, class? That is, mag-start sa letter P. Ano yung mag-start natin sa letter P? O, PI ba agad? Agad-agad? PI? Sure kayo? That is? Okay, very good. Okay, so that is prosecution of offense. Okay, again, we have the prosecution of offense. So again, we have the prosecution of offense, that is Rule 110. That is the prosecution of offense. How about Rule 111? Ano naman yung tinatawag natin class na Rule 111? What is Rule 111? Prosecution of civil action. Okay, very good. So that is prosecution of civil action. So after ng prosecution of civil action, ano yung next natin na procedure? Rule 112. What is our Rule 112 under the criminal procedure? What is Rule 112 class? Yung another P, yung last P, kasi di ba 3P yung magkakasunod. So ano yung another P? Followed by prosecution of civil action. Okay. So very good. That is preliminary investigation or PI. Okay, very good. So next, pagtapos ng PI, magkakaroon tayo ng letter A. Anong kasunod sa PI? Okay, very good. Arrest. Pagkatapos ng arrest, anong kasunod sa kanya? Yung letter B. Okay, that is bail. Okay, that is bail. Okay. So how about yung letter R, yung Rule 115? What is letter R? Okay, so R is the rights of the accused. Okay, how about yung Rule 116, yung letter A? What is letter A? Yung letter A pa muna, letter A. Okay, very good. That is arraignment and plea. Okay, how about yung letter M, yung Rule 117? Rule 117 class, what is Rule 117? Okay, that is motion to quash. Okay, how about yung pre? What is pre? Pre-trial. Okay, pre-trial. Then of course yung T. What is letter T? Sorry. That is trial. Okay, of course trial. Then yung rule 120. What is rule 120, class? Yung Jude. What is Jude? Okay, that is judgment. Okay, how about yung N? What is N? New trial. Ay, sorry. What is N? Bakit nasabi ko na? Of course, that is a new trial. Okay, after ng new trial, ano yung letter A? What is letter A? Yung rule 122. That is rule 122. That is appeal. Okay, that is appeal. Okay, how about yung 3P naman, class? Ano yung 3P natin? What is 3P? Yung rule 123, rule 124, rule 125. Procedure in RTC, CANSC. Sure ba kayo? Okay, so ang sagot natin dyan, that is procedure in MTC. Wala pong RTC class ha. Procedure in MTC, procedure in Court of Appeals, and procedure in Supreme Court. Okay, nakuha? Then, okay, how about class yung tinatawag natin na S? What is S? Okay, ang S, of course, that is search and seizures. Okay, how about naman yung pro? About yung pro? What is pro? Probation? Bakit may probation tayo dito? Okay, that is provisional remedies in cases. Okay? So again, ang rule 1 to 7, that is provisional remedies in cases, class. Okay, nakuha ba? Nakuha ba? Ulitin natin. Under the criminal procedure, we have rule 110 to rule 127. Of course, we have the 3 pabram, Pretschwood, NAPSPRO. So again, under the rule 110, that is prosecution of offense, rule 111, prosecution of civil action, another P, preliminary investigation. Kasunod yan, letter A, arrest. Kasunod yan is bail, rights of the accused, arraignment and plea, motion to quash, pre-trial, trial, judgment, new trial or reconsideration, appeal, procedure in MMTC, procedure in CA, procedure in Supreme Court. We have the search and seizures and provisional remedies in cases. Okay, nakuha ba? Okay, very good.
Yes, sir.
Nasulat daw nila, kaya nakasunod sila. So, yung iba, na bago, kaya huwag kayong magtaka bakit na ano namin to. Ganun talaga kami sa sa cream coach or ganito talaga yung approach namin, class. So, dapat ma-master lahat. Kasi it is a procedure, class eh. Once na nagkamali ka sa isang procedure, automatic, class, it will tantamount to the dismissal of the case. So, useless ang kaso or useless yung na-file nyo na kaso kasi nga madi-dismiss yan. Kasi nga, yan yung tinatawag natin na criminal procedure or it is a criminal process. So, ibig sabihin, it is in order. Kaya yun yung sinusunod natin. So, criminal procedure or criminal process. Okay, nakuha na ba? Na-master na ninyo?
Mamaster rin pa lang, sir.
Ma-master rin pala. Okay, pwede. So, mamaya, after ng ano natin or after mamayang gabi or isulat nyo yan kung saan kayo naka-study or saan yung saan kayo nagre-review. So, doon yung isulat yung mga ano ninyo. Tawag nito, yung acronym or mnemonics or sa CR, ilagay nyo doon. Then, kahit saan ka pumunta, no, para mabasa nyo 3 pabram, Pretschwood, NAPSPRO. Okay, so di ba? 3 pabram, Pretschwood, NAPSPRO. Prosecution of offense, prosecution of civil action, hanggang sa provisional remedies and cases. So, dapat i-master yung class ha. So, ito yung ating acronym dito. So, from Rule 110, that is prosecution of offense, until Rule 127, that is the provisional remedies and cases. May tanong dito? Wala na kayong tanong dito? Okay na ba? Okay, so may nakita ba kayong ganito na iba na nagle-lecture na merong ganito, yung 3 pabram, Pretschwood, NAPSPRO? Wala, no?
Wala po, sir.
Wala, okay, sige. Okay, kapag may nakita kayo, okay, so more on definition. Okay. So ganun talaga class. So
Sir,
dapat kakaiba, di ba? So 3 pabram, Fred should not. So mamaya i-explain natin 'yan one by one yung every rule natin dito. Okay? So dito tayo pa. Okay, so common names of persons in criminal procedure. Okay, pag sinabi nating suspect class, pakilagay sa baba. So saan natin matatagpuan si suspect? Okay, under the criminal procedure. Saan nyo ba na-encounter si suspect or saan ginagamit ang term na suspect in criminal procedure? Okay, again, saan nyo ginagamit ang term na suspect in criminal procedure? Saan? Sa police. Okay, very good. So that is under the police custody. So how about naman pag sinabi nating respondent? Saan natin matatagpuan si respondent class? Again, saan natin matatagpuan si respondent? Sa prosecutor, okay? Or the prosecution. How about naman ang accused class? Saan naman ngayon matatagpuan si accused? Saan ito natin? Sa court. Okay, how about criminal? Criminal, saan natin matatagpuan si criminal? Convicted. Okay, so let's find out kung tama kayo. Uh, hmm. Ito yung mga common names class na matatagpuan ninyo or ma-encounter ninyo sa criminal procedure. So, dito tayo. So, pag sinabi nating police, of course, yung suspect that is under police custody, ang respondent naman, of course, sa prosecutor, ang accused naman sa korte, ang criminal naman, of course, there is a conviction or basically he is convicted by final judgment of court. Okay? So, that is, yan yung pinaka-common name nila class. Ang suspect, tinatawag rin natin yan under the criminal investigation or that is known today as the POI class or the persons of interest. Okay? So, aside sa suspect, minsan tinatawag rin natin ang suspect as the persons of interest. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo? Nasundan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Next, how about naman class, saan natin matatagpuan or saan natin may encounter? Okay, so sino yung nare-represent ni prosecution party? Again, sino ang nare-represent ni prosecution party class?
Friends.
The victim, okay? So, how about yung defense party natin? Defense party. Sino naman yung nare-represent ng defense party natin? Accused. Okay. So, accused. Mhm. So, then of course, ang defense party, of course, that is the accused, no? Okay. Okay. So, magkaiba ang term na accused sa suspect class, ha? Ang accused na sa korte yan, ang suspect na sa police. Okay. How about witness? Sino yung tinatawag natin na witness? Okay. Man of hour. Okay. So, how about ano na lang? Ano na lang yung two types of witness? Para hindi kayo mahirapan. Hmm? Okay, the ordinary and expert witness. How about naman class, pag sinabi nating state witness, sino naman yung mga tinatawag natin na state witness? Okay, again, sino naman yung tinatawag natin na state witness? acquittal. Pwede. How about others? Less guilty. Pwede. Ano pa? Less guilty. Less guilty. Tumawag kasi yung ano rin, yung may-ari ng isang review center sa Bicol. Kung available daw ako sa sa lecture sa criminal law kanina kasi yung kanilang lecturer sa criminal law ah, hindi stable ang connection. So hindi ko naman pwedeng sabihin na available ako, no. So ayun, wala silang lecturer today. So kasi magsa-start pa lang actually class yung review ng mga review center sa ngayon. Parang ano pa lang nila. So maswerte tayo kasi malapit na natapos natin yung isang area. Then mangangalahati na rin ang criminal law. So gano'n. Kaya that's why maraming tumatawag, no, na every review center, maraming everyday nagko-contact. Pero hindi ko pwedeng ma-insert 'yon kasi mas kasi naka-schedule, eh. Kapag nasa schedule niya, 'yun yung sinusunod ko. So kaya 'di ba, gano'n dapat ang gawin niyo sa sarili niyo. Make yourself bold, 'di ba? Para hindi kayo yung nag-a-apply, halimbawa maging speaker kayo soon, hindi kayo yung nag-a-apply as a lecturer, kayo yung nagde-decline. So sa akin, so far sa experience ko nung nag-start ako as a lecturer class, never ako nag-apply as a lecturer na ganito papasukin mo ako diyan or ganito yung magcha-chat ako na magle-lecture ako sa review center mo. Hindi gano'n. Hindi talaga ako, never ko ginawa 'yun. Kasi nga dapat pangalagaan mo yung credibility mo, 'di ba? Kung kukunin ka nila without any explanation, 'di ba? So gano'n rin 'yun, basta gawin yung make yourself bold. Kumbaga ano ba, hindi ikaw yung maghahabol, 'di ba? Sila yung hahabol sa'yo. Nakuha ba? So gano'n klase ang gagawin ninyo sa sarili ninyo, so 'di ba? So, then of course pangalagaan niyo rin ang credibility ninyo. Dapat, yung attitude, lahat-lahat class, kahit gaano ka pa kagaling, hindi ka talaga tatagal sa trabaho na 'to or sa profession na 'to class. Halimbawa as a lecturer, kahit anong ng trabaho ninyo, attitude talaga really matters. O kaya bakit hindi ka na kinuha after or bakit ka palaging kinukuha? Kasi nga yung attitude mo is swak or kumbaga marunong ka mag-adjust. So gano'n ka. So dapat kahit anong trabaho ninyo dapat yung attitude is very important 'yan. Kaya yung iba, dahil sa attitude hindi na kinukuha after, sila yung nabamakaawa na kunin ulit. So gano'n ang na-experience ko for how many years na lecturer ako. So sa akin, never ako nag-apply or never kong isiksik yung sarili ko, o kunin mo ako dito, ako yung nagde-decline. So gano'n class ang gagawin ninyo. Okay, so kahit anong trabaho ninyo, so dapat, okay, galingan niyo palagi kasi maraming nag-aabang sa inyo, 'di ba, na magkamali ka or mag-fail. Kung magkamali ka man, okay lang 'yan, 'di ba? So wala namang perfect, 'di ba? May nasabi kang mali, okey lang 'yan, then open ka sa correction, 'di ba? So kapag halimbawa i-correct ako ng students ko, "Ay baka nagkamali ako." Walang problema sa akin 'yun, 'di ba? Kasi kapag, hindi ka nagpapa-correct, wala 'yan, medyo, delikado, 'di ba? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na may edad ka na or may mas matanda siya sa'yo ng 10 years or ganito, ganyan, tama siya, 'di ba? So minsan mas okey na lang na tahimik ka na lang, okey, para walang wala ng gulo. So gano'n ka. Okay, so 'pag sinabi nating prosecution party class, ibig sabihin it representing, the complainant or the victim, so representing in favor of the government. So ang defense party naman, of course nare-represent niya naman 'yan ang accused natin. Okay, nare-represent niya ang accused. Ang witness natin class, dalawa 'yan. So, we have the ordinary witness, yung kami nandito class or him, And of course, we have the expert witness. I-explain natin na yan mamaya. So, di ba, pag sinabi natin yung ordinary witness class, sinabi niya, magte-testify siya based on him. So, ano yung tinatawag natin na him? So, ang him, ibig sabihin, yung H class, kapag you are ordinary witness, magte-testify ka based on what? Ano yung H? What is letter H? Magte-testify ka based on handwriting. Okay, very good. Ang gagaling ng student ko, ah. So, di ba? Pwede na agad-agad mag-board exam. How about yung letter I? What is letter I? Magte-testify ka based on, letter I muna, letter I. Identity of the person. How about yung letter M class? Yung letter M. How about yung letter M? What is letter M? Ano pala ngayon? Recruitment pala ngayon class ng Air Force, Philippine Air Force, tapos official. Yung pang-official. How about yung letter M? Okay, that is the mental sanity of the person. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na ordinary witness. Again, ang ordinary witness, magte-testify siya based on him. So what is H? That is handwriting. Yung I naman, identity of the person. And yung M naman, that is the mental sanity of the person. Okay, so that is ordinary witness. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how about naman yung sa tinatawag natin na expert witness? Ang expert witness, sabi niya dito, or inilagay ko dyan, magte-testify siya based on city. Okay, ano na yung sabihin natin ng city class? What is city? Sorry. Okay, what is city? Are you familiar with this, yung city? Okay, so ayan, we have the, ano yun? Okay, we have the skills, expertise, training, education, or experience. Yan yung tinatawag natin na city class. Again, kapag you are an expert witness, magta-testify ka ngayon on city based on your skills, expertise, training, education, or minsan, yung another E, tinatawag natin yan na experience. So again, magte-testify ka ngayon based on city, based on skills, experience, training, expertise, or education. Yun yung tinatawag natin na expert witness class. Okay, again, kapag you are an ordinary witness, magte-testify ka ngayon based on him, based on the handwriting, the identity of the person, and the mental sanity of the person. Then, pag sinabi naman nating expert witness, magte-testify ka ngayon based on city, based on the skills, your expertise, your trainings, your education. Yun yung tinatawag natin class na witness or expert witness. So then, of course, we have the state witness. So ano yung tinatawag natin na state witness? Of course, that is equivalent to acquittal. But mamaya, explain ko what is state witness under the criminal procedure. So acquittal ang magiging equivalent. So dito naman tayo. So ang appellant class, what is appellant? Sino si appellant under the criminal procedure? Okay, what is appellant? Okay, the appealing party. How about appealee class? How about appealee? Sino naman si appealee? Aggrieved party. So how about others? Okay, how about naman yung tinatawag natin na adverse party? Adverse party. Ano naman yung adverse party? Okay, adverse party, appellant. How about aggrieved party? Appealee. So let's discuss this one. Okay, actually parang ano ko lang binaliktad ko lang yan para ano kayo. So pag sinabi nating appellant, of course, the appealing party or the one who appealing the case. Pag sinabi naman nating appealee, the adverse party kung saan papunta yung tinatawag natin na appeal. Ang adverse party, of course, that is the appealee. Ang aggrieved party, of course, that is the appellant or yung tinatawag natin class na victim. So explain na natin yan one by one. So again, ang appellant, that is the appealing party. Appealing naman, adverse party. Ang third adverse party, that is appealee. And of course, aggrieved party, that is the appellant or tinatawag natin class na victim. Okay. So then how about dito naman class? Amicus curiae. Pag sinabi natin amicus curiae, what is the translation or what is the equivalent in English? Kapag we have the amicus curiae. Amicus curiae. Okay, so the friends of court. Okay, very good. How about counsel? Counsel, the official. What is counsel, the official? What is counsel, the official? How about counsel, the official class? The lawyer that is given of the government to the victim. How about others? Yung counsel, the official class. Court, represent the accused. Public lawyer. Okay, tingnan natin mamaya kung tama kayo. How about naman pag sinabi natin na counsel de parte? What is counsel de parte? What is counsel de parte class? Accused, okay, representing the accused, tama ba? How about na pag sinabi nating judge, sino si judge class? Kahit yung one word lang na mag-define kay judge. Wait lang class, i-send ko yung link natin sa ano. Kasi yung iba hindi lagay lang yung sagot niyo diyan. Ito ang link. Okay, how about natin pag sinabi nating judge? Bakit umabot sa referee? Baka nasa basketball pa rin kayo Judge is an officer. Okay, tingnan natin dito. Okay, pag sinabi nating amicus curiae class, from the word itself, amicus, ibig sabihin, amigo. Okay? Ibig sabihin, that is the friends of court. So, ang amicus curiae class, hindi yan sila involved doon sa kaso. So, yun yung mga abogado or yun yung mga lawyers na friends of court kung saan, kung pwede na lang i-ask yan na to represent the accused or the victim in court. So, yun yung tinatawag natin amicus curiae class. Kaya tinawag na amicus or amigo. Okay? So, yan yung tinatawag natin class na amicus curiae, friends of court. Nakuha ba ninyo? So, they are the friends of court. So, they are not party to a case, ibig sabihin hindi yan sila connected sa kaso. So they are only a friends of court kung saan pwede nilang i-ask yan to represent them in the case. Okay? So yan yung tinatawag natin na amicus curiae. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo? Okay, next.
Yes, sir.
Pag sinabi naman nating counsel de officio o yung counsel de officio class, yan yung tinatawag natin na counsel or lawyers appointed by the court to represent the accused. Okay, counsel de officio yan. Saan manggagaling minsan class ang counsel de officio? Saan natin mostly kinukuha ang mga counsel de officio? Okay, PAO, okay? So that is Public Attorney's Office. Mostly diyan kinukuha class ang mga counsel appointed by the court, 'di ba? Kapag wala kang kakayahan or halimbawa wala kang kakayahan to represent or to magkuha ng abogado to represent you in a criminal cases or in any cases. So you will be given by the court or will be appointed by the court to represent you or to represent the accused in the criminal cases. Ang tawag natin doon is counsel de officio. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin na counsel de officio. Pag sinabi naman natin counsel de parte, so yung counsel de parte class, that is the private lawyer. Okay, for hired or ibig sabihin binabayaran or minsan kapag may family lawyer sila, that is ang counsel de parte, that is the counsel for hired by the accused or minsan by the complainant. So meron silang private lawyers kapag may mga pera no or yung may mga kakayahan class. So counsel de parte ang tawag natin na. May parte sila. Pwede. Ibig sabihin meron talaga silang baka rich kid no or meron silang family lawyer or that is counsel de parte. That is the counsel or that is the lawyer for hired by accused or a complainant. Nakuha? Then pag sinabi nating officer class, pag sinabi nating judge, of course, siya yung officer in court. Okay? Siya yung nagre-represent, siya yung officer in court kung saan siya yung tinatawag natin na first in command in the court system natin. Siya yung magsisettle ng mga kaso, magkakandak ng trial and hearing. So si judge class is an officer in court. Nakuha ba? So yan class. Pag sinabi nating amicus curiae, that is friends of court. Pag sinabi natin counsel de officio, that is the lawyer. So that is the counsel appointed by the court to represent the accused. Ang counsel de parte naman, that is for hired or for complainant, that is for hired by the accused or the complainant. Then they are the counsel de parte or representing any party class in the case. Then ang judge, siya yung tinatawag natin na officer in court. Okay? Siya yung officer in court na nagkakandak ng trial and hearing. Siya rin yung may karapatan to settle disputes and actual controversies. Okay? Nakuha ba? Nasundan?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, next tayo. Preliminaries pa lang yung class ha. Okay, we will continue dito or yung pinakaano natin. So, pag sinabi nating criminal procedure, so pag sinabi nating criminal procedure, tinatawag rin natin yung class as criminal process. Pag sinabi nating criminal process, ibig sabihin nun, dapat in order. Okay, di ba? So, kasi nga process yan eh. Hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa number 3 kung hindi ka pa dumaan sa number 1. Hindi ka pwedeng pumunta sa arrest kung wala pang preliminary investigation. Di ba? So, yan yung tinatawag natin class na criminal procedure. Ang criminal procedure, tinatawag rin natin yan minsan as the criminal process or ito yung mga methods na piniprescribe ng law or ng batas natin for the apprehension, of course, by arrest or for the apprehension and prosecution of any criminal offense. Again, ang criminal procedure, tinatawag natin yan na criminal process or the methods prescribed by law for the apprehension or prosecution of criminal offenses. Tandaan ninyo, any violation of the procedure is tantamount to the dismissal of the case. So that's why dapat sundin talaga ang criminal procedure kung ano yung pagkakasunod-sunod class. Kasi nga it will be pwede mo yang emotion to quash or move to quash or move to dismiss the case or to stop the case. So that's why kailangan natin masunod yung criminal procedure or criminal process na meron tayo. Okay? Then ang criminal action class, of course, kapag ang ating criminal procedure, kailangan natin magkaroon ng criminal action. Ibig sabihin, the state will prosecute any criminal offense a person punishable by law that is under the Rule 1, Section 3 of the Rules of Court. Kapag there is any crime na-commit, diba? There is any crime na na-commit or there is a law violated by any person or by criminal offense na na-commit nila, class. Yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na it is the duty of the state to prosecute. Ibig sabihin, kailangan na magsampahan ng corresponding case, okay, of course, by filing the case in court. So that is the criminal action. Okay, so yan yung tinatawag, class, natin na criminal action. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo,
Yes,
class?
sir.
Okay, so next. Then, of course, sino ba ang magpo-prosecute ng mga kaso or any criminal offense? Of course, class, ang mag-prosecute ng criminal offense is tinatawag natin na public prosecutor, of course, except private crime. Kasi mamaya i-explain natin, class, what is public crime and what is the what we call the public and private crime. So pag sinabi nating class, pag sinabi nating public crimes, anong ibig sabihin nun? Ano yung mga public crimes, class? Okay, so as a review, wala ba? Okay, ganito. Ang kaibahan nila, pag sinabi nating public crimes, those are any crimes na tinatawag natin, class, na that is any person interested in a case can file a case. So pwede silang magkaso. Okay, so again, pag sinabi nating public crimes, okay, yon yung tinatawag natin na okay, so yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na criminal procedure or yung tawag natin, class, na public crimes. Again, pag sinabi nating public crimes, that is, it talks about any crimes or any person interested in the case can file a case. Halimbawa, sa rape case, it is the best example of public crimes. Kapag ayaw ng biktima, gusto ng parents, pwede. Kapag ayaw ng biktima, ayaw ng parents, yung police officer, pwede sila, or public officer yung magsasampahan ng kaso. So that is under the criminal procedure, class. Okay? So sila yung magpo-prosecute, class. Pag sinabi naman nating private crimes, class, only the offended party can file a case. So again, only the offended party can file a case. Yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na okay, so that is the only offended party can file a case. Halimbawa, concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, and acts of lasciviousness. So mamaya explain na natin doon. Yun yung mga natin. Yung kasaa. Okay, so yung mga adultery. So kapag sa adultery, class, just like for example, sa mga adultery or concubinage cases, kung ayaw ng asawa, ayaw ng mister, ayaw ng misis mag-file ng concubinage or adultery against each other, so walang magagawa ang korte or walang magagawa kahit sino. Kasi nga, it is considered under the law as private crimes. So pag sinabi natin private crimes, only the offended party can file a case. While ang public crimes, anyone or any person interested in the case can file a case. So yan yung tinatawag natin na na public crimes and private crimes. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. Again, who will prosecute the criminal offenses? Of course, class, ang magpo-prosecute yan ay the public prosecutor except the private crime. Okay, dito tayo. So dito tayo, class. Of course, ang una dyan, we have to determine the jurisdiction versus the venue. Very important rin yung tinatawag natin na jurisdiction and venue. Okay, so we have the jurisdiction versus the venue. So pag sinabi natin jurisdiction, class, we already discussed that in book 1 kahapon, no? So pag sinabi natin juris, of course, that is law, and diction, I speak. So that is the literal definition of jurisdiction. That is the power and authority of the court to try and hear cases. Yan yung tinatawag natin na jurisdiction. So we already discussed what is jurisdiction. While ang venue, of course, that is the geographical division, or it is the place, the situs where the hearing, the trial and hearing should took place. That is the venue. So, halimbawa, ang rape case, of course, papasok yan. Ang may jurisdiction over the case, class, is the RTC or the Regional Trial Court. Sino naman ang may venue saan gaganapin ang trial and hearing? Kung saan nangyari increment that determines the venue class. Pero in some cases, nasusunod ba talaga lahat yun, sir? Hindi naman. Kung napapansin niyo kung na-remember niyo yung Mama sa Panong Massacre, di ba? Instead, di ba sinabi sa venue under the rules of court na dapat ang venue ng trial and hearing kung saan nangyari ang krimen or saan nag-transpired ang krimen, doon ang trial and hearing ng kaso. Pero bakit? Ang trial and hearing ng Mama sa Panong Massacre is nandoon sa NCR, okay, nasa Manila. Kasi nga, first class, that is an exemption to the rule. Kasi alam ng judiciary natin or judicial system natin na kapag ang trial and hearing ay gaganapin doon sa Maguindanao, okay? So of course, magkakaroon ng bayaran, tama? Okay, magkakaroon ng breach doon class. Okay, sa pag-settle, pwedeng kung sino yung pinakamaraming pera, siya yung mananalo. That's why in every or on the special circumstances, pwede yun. Pwedeng baguhin yun ng korte kapag alam niya na hindi fair ang magiging kakalabasan ng tinatawag natin class na trial and hearing. But general rule natin, paano natin ma-determine ang venue ng trial and hearing? Where the crime happened or where the crime took place will determine the place or the venue or the site of the trial and hearing. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ninyo, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sige. Of course, we have the kinds of jurisdiction dito. So, we have the kinds of jurisdiction. So, meron naman tayong, dito, class? Meron naman tayong acronym for that. GOLEC. Of course, niyo na to, no? Na-encounter niyo na to sa akin, sa mga videos ko. Meron, no? GOLEC. So, ang G, that stands for General Jurisdiction. Yung O, that stands for Original Jurisdiction. Yung A, that stands for Appellate Jurisdiction. Yung L naman, Limited Jurisdiction. Yung E, that is Exclusive. And yung letter C, that is Concurrent Jurisdiction. So, yan yung tinatawag natin na kinds of jurisdiction class. Pag sinabi natin General Jurisdiction class, kaya tinawag din General, ibig sabihin, all disputes, lahat class ng kaso, lahat ng dispute, pwede niyang tanggapin. Okay, yan yung tinatawag natin na general jurisdiction. Okay, so meron siyang general jurisdiction class. Pag sinabi naman nating original jurisdiction, for the first time, ibig sabihin, sila kung saan first na-file ang kaso, halimbawa first na-file ang kaso sa RTC, so si RTC ngayon class ang may original jurisdiction sa kaso na yan. Where the case was first filed, doon natin madidetermine kung sino ngayon ang may original jurisdiction. So, in that case, kapag nasa RTC, so si RTC ngayon ang may first jurisdiction or may original jurisdiction over the case. Nakuha ba? Then, pag sinabi naman nating appellate court or appellate jurisdiction, ibig sabihin class, the case was elevated from the lower court to the higher court. Halimbawa, kapag matalo sa MTC, saan natin i-appeal? Sa RTC. Pag matalo sa RTC, i-appeal natin sa Court of Appeals. Kapag natalo sa Court of Appeals, ay ipa-file natin yan ngayon ang kaso class na tinatawag natin na Supreme Court. So that is what we call appellate jurisdiction. The case is elevated. Ibig sabihin, parang elevator, pataas, di ba? Yan yung tinatawag natin na appellate. Kumbaga, that is the throwing of the case. Or hindi yung literal na itapon mo sa mukha ng judge or ano. So parang ano yan, kumbaga lahat ng records na ipapasa yan sa higher court for their comments, for their review. So yan yung tinatawag natin na appellate. Or the case is elevated from the lower court, iakyat sa higher court. That is appellate. Then pag sinabi naman nating L, of course, that is limited jurisdiction. So we have limited jurisdiction class, yung mga specific cases lang. Yung mga specific cases lang ang tinatanggap niya, di ba? So ano ba yung mga example class na may limited jurisdiction over the case? Yung mga specific lang. Okay, so ano yung mga tinatawag natin class na may limited jurisdiction? Ibig sabihin, only specific cases ang kaniyang tinatanggap or ang kaniyang tinatrial and hearing. May mga limited.
Juvenile, sir.
Juvenile. Yung family court, okay, pwede. Yung family court. How about others? Ano pa yung ano natin? Ano pa yung mga korte na merong limited jurisdiction? Kumbaga saan, hanggang doon lang ang kanilang kailangan nilang i-trial and hearing.
Sandigan.
Sandigan Bayan Court. Okay, very good. Sandigan Bayan Court is a limited jurisdiction na ng klase. Ibig sabihin, limited only sa mga graft and corruption or unexplained wealth. Okay, yung unexplained wealth kasi class, yan yung tinatawag natin na kumaga yung mga unexplained wealth or bigla na lang yumaman, no? Or hindi naman alam kung saan nanggaling ang pera. Before, lang siya, nagbebenta lang siya ng kangkong. Nagbebenta na siya ng kangkong. Pero ngayon, meron na siyang 10 hectares ng kangkungan. Okay. So parang ganon ang tinatawag natin na unexplained wealth class. Paano nangyari? Or paano nangyari na ganon, na may ganon siya, di ba? Agad-agad. So yun yung ang limited jurisdiction ng Sandigan Bayan. So dito naman tayo class sa exclusive jurisdiction. Ang exclusive, of course, inherent sa kanya. Okay. Actually, class, pwede rin natin yung example dito rin, si Sandigan Bayan, tama? Kasi exclusive or inherent sa Sandigan Bayan ang mga graft and corruption cases. Tama ba? Inherent sa kanila? Pwede? Okay. So kumbaga,
Yes, sir.
it is very, bakit ang may naka-on na microphone? Pa-change ng pangalan ninyo class sa pangalan ninyo mismo kasi hindi ko ma-identify yung iba. Naka-period, naka-Chinese. So hindi ko alam kung kung dito ba talaga kayo naka-enroll. So again, ang exclusive class, ibig sabihin nun, inherent sa kanya. Okay? Yung pagtanggap ng kaso. Kasi nga, dapat dyan talaga sa kanya ipa-file ang mga kaso. Halimbawa, sa mga tax evasion cases. So meron tayong Court of Tax Appeals. So yan yung tinatawag natin na inherent sa kanila. So kung saan talaga, doon lang talaga yan ipa-file. Kasi nga inherent. Ibig sabihin, parang nature. Yung nature ng kaso na pina-file nila, so yun yung tinatawag natin na may exclusive jurisdiction. Then of course, we have the concurrent. Ang concurrent jurisdiction class, ibig sabihin, there are two courts handling the same case. So that is what we call the concurrent. Of course, that is under the kinds of jurisdiction class. Iba naman yung tinatawag natin ng forum shopping, di ba? Ang forum shopping, magpa-file ka ngayon doon sa mga administrative agency. Tapos kung saan feeling mo mananalo ka, doon mas favorable. So doon ka ngayon, magpa-file ulit. So yun yung forum shopping, it is not allowed. Pero dito sa kinds of jurisdiction, ang concurrent jurisdiction, when two courts are handling the same case, so okay yan. So that is the kinds of jurisdiction. Again, ulitin natin. Ang kinds of jurisdiction na tandaan nyo class, GOLEC, ibig sabihin, general jurisdiction, original, affiliate, limited, exclusive, and concurrent jurisdiction. Pag sinabi natin general, all disputes ang nila. Ang original naman, for the first time. Ang affiliate naman, the case is elevated. Limited naman, specific cases. Exclusive, inherent naman sa kanya. And concurrent naman, when two courts are handling the same cases. Nakuha ba? Nakuha nyo, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yan. So dito tayo. Okay, so how jurisdiction is acquired? Okay, pakibasa muna si Robin. Sige, Robin, pakibasa yung how jurisdiction is acquired.
How jurisdiction is acquired. Number 1, subject matter or issue. Number 2, person arrested or voluntarily surrendered. Number 3, place of the commission. The general rule is to determine jurisdiction.
Okay. So, ayan, how jurisdiction is acquired. So, meron tayong acronym dyan class na sinusunod. We have the SPP. Yung letter S, of course, that is the subject matter. Yung P naman, the person. And of course, the place. Yan yung tinatawag natin how jurisdiction is acquired. So, sa subject matter or issue class, halimbawa, kapag theft, robbery, rape, homicide, murder, sino ba yung may jurisdiction over the case? Yung MPC ba? Yung RTC ba? So yan yung yan yung first natin class na ma-determine ang jurisdiction. So kung sino yung may jurisdiction over the case, so siya yung tinatawag natin na papasok yan sa jurisdiction over subject matter or issue. Kung ano ba yung kaso or ano ba yung issue. So siya ngayon ang may karapatan or siya ngayon ang may power and authority to try the case. So based on the subject matter, kung ano yung kaso na nakomit mo, so dapat proper jurisdiction ang kukuha niyan. So papasok yan class sa tinatawag natin na subject matter or issue. Then, pag sinabi naman nating jurisdiction over the person, so paano ba natin makuha, class, ang jurisdiction over sa tao na yon or sa person na yon? Of course, dalawa yan. Okay, kapag arestuhin natin by actual restraint or by taking the person into custody. So, arestuhin muna natin by virtue of warrant of arrest or by virtue of warrantless arrest or without the warrant. So then, person, of course, kapag arestuhin natin, the person is arrested. Then, pangalawa naman, kapag nag-voluntary surrendered siya, okay, nag-voluntary surrender ang tao na yon, of course, that is, makukuha natin or ma-acquire natin ngayon ang jurisdiction over that person. So, hindi niya pinahirapan, no? So again, how jurisdiction is acquired over the person kapag na-aresto siya or nag-voluntary surrendered siya, class, sa proper authorities. So, ibig sabihin, ang custody is nakuha na ngayon, okay, over that person. Then third naman, the place of the commission of the crime. Okay, kung saang lugar nag-commit, saan lugar nag-transpired ang crime or saan na-commit ang crime, class, that is the general rule to determine the jurisdiction. Again, place of the commission of the crime, it will determine or it determines, class, yung general determination of jurisdiction. So kung saan nangyari ang krimen, so of course doon rin ang tinatawag natin, class, na ang may jurisdiction over the case or over the subject matter na tinatawag natin. So nakuha ba? So that is how
Yes, sir.
jurisdiction is acquired. Okay, so yan. So nakuha ba? So again, ang jurisdiction natin, SPP. So we have the subject matter or jurisdiction, we have the person, and of course, we have the place of the commission of the offense or commission of the crime. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So SPP. Okay, so dito tayo, class. Pakibasa si Anthony Valencia. Okay, Anthony
Morning, sir.
Valencia. Okay, good morning. Sige. Pakibasa
The
din.
following are system of criminal procedure except accusatorial, inquisitorial, mixed, adversarial.
Okay, so the following are system of criminal procedure except accusatorial, inquisitorial, mixed, or adversarial. Okay, what is your answer, class? Answer this one. Okay, so meron na ba? Letter D. So adversarial. Okay, so very good. Okay, so the following are the system of criminal procedure except, of course, that is adversarial, class. Tandaan nyo lang dyan na acronym natin for criminal procedure is yung AIM. Okay, what is AIM? So yung letter A, that is accusatorial, yung I, that is inquisitorial, and then yung M, that is the mixed system. Ang adversarial, class, anong tawag natin dito? Anong title nito? Yung adversarial. Anong title natin dito sa adversarial, class?
Rights of the accused po, sir.
Okay, that is kinds of
Rights of the accused. Rights of the accused po, sir.
accused, hindi. Okay, another try. What is, anong tawag natin sa adversarial? Okay, so anong tawag natin sa adversarial? Walang idea? Okay, yung iba wala.
The person presumed guilty until proven innocent, sir.
Okay, so tama naman. Pero anong title nito? Anong title?
May aggrieved party, sir.
Hindi? Ano yon? Anong tawag natin? Di ba ang yung accusatorial, inquisitorial, and mixed system, tawag natin yan, system of criminal procedure. How about naman yung adversarial, di ba? Meron tayong tinatawag na
Statutory construction of the rules, sir.
hindi. Mhm.
Ah,
Ano yan? Ano yan? Adversarial. Okay, very good. That is due process. Okay, that's two types of due process class. Due process yan class ha, yung adversarial due process. And then yung isa naman, mamaya explain natin. So due process yan, yung adversarial. Yung tatlo, ito yung system of criminal procedure. Okay, so very good. Okay, dito naman sa natin. Ako na lang magbabasa. So a system of criminal procedure wherein you accuse the person and then you file the complaint. Again, a system of criminal procedure wherein you accuse the person and then you file the complaint. Letter A, accusatorial. Letter B, inquisitorial. Letter C, mixed system. And letter D, adversarial. Okay, so marami palang brownout sa ibang lugar class, no? 15 hours, 10 hours. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so a system of criminal procedure wherein you accuse a person, then you file a complaint, very good. That is
sir,
accused.
excuse me po, sir. Ano po yung dun sa, ano po, sir? Adversarial po, sir. Kasi may na po yung signal kanina, sir, eh.
Ang adversarial kanina, that is the types of due process. Don't worry, i-explain na natin mamaya. Yung ano na.
Ayun.
Yung due
Sir,
process.
yung sa adversarial po ba, sir, ang mauuna po, sir, guilty, ganun po, the person presumed guilty or innocent po ba yung mauuna, sir?
Ay, hindi, mamaya i-explain natin. Kasi ano pa lang to, Q&A pa lang. Tapos mamaya i-explain natin yung types of procedure and then types of criminal system natin. Or criminal procedure or system of criminal procedure. Mamaya lang, i-explain
Yes, sir.
natin.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, sir.
so
Thank you po, sir.
thank you. So again, ang sagot natin dyan is accusatorial. So ulitin rin natin ito mamaya, don't worry. So again, a system of criminal procedure wherein you accuse a person and then you file a complaint, that is accusatorial. Letter A. Okay, so yan. Okay, ito class yung tatlong system of criminal procedure natin. So AIM, ang acronym natin dyan class. So pag sinabi nating AIM, of course yung letter A, that stands for accusatorial. Ang accusatorial, ibig sabihin yan, you accuse a person, then you file a complaint. So that is accusatorial. Ang inquisitorial naman, inquiry is secret where violence is used to extract confession. So ibig sabihin, unlike sa ano natin na kailangan visible or alam niya na he is under investigation. So yan yung tinatawag natin na inquisitorial. Dito sa inquisitorial, of course, inquiry is secret where violence is used to extract confession. Ang ginagamit natin na system of criminal procedure class is the mixed system. Okay, the mixed system, of course, that is the combination of accusatorial and inquisitorial. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng AI. So, ibig sabihin class, sa mixed system, you file a complaint and then the fiscal will conduct preliminary investigation. So, ganun class ang mixed system. Kailangan mo magsampahan ng kaso, di ba? Dito, magpa-file ka ng complaint. Sorry. Then, ang inquisitorial naman, kailangan natin yung inquisitorial ba sir related po ba sa private crime? Ay, hindi. Lahat class na procedure kasi to class eh. So, lahat yan sila applicable yan sa kasi nga, system of criminal procedure. Lahat yan sila ginagamit natin class in criminal cases and of course in civil cases. So yan class, ang mixed system, of course, combination of two. You file a complaint and then the fiscal or the prosecutor class will conduct preliminary investigation. So ang mixed system class, yan yung ginagamit natin sa Pilipinas. Okay? So may mga nababasa kasi kayo or may nakikita ako na accusatorial daw ang ginagamit sa Pilipinas. Hindi. Mixed system. Okay, ang ginagamit natin So yan yung pinaka-original natin ka. So dapat hindi natin palitan yon. So mixed system, of course, combination ng accusatorial and inquisitorial. So, ganun ka. Kapag magsampa tayo ng kaso. So, that is the system of criminal procedure na meron tayo. Again, ang accusatorial, you accuse the person. Then, you file a complaint. Ang inquisitorial naman, inquiry is secret where violence is used to extract confession. And the mixed system, combination of two. Accusatorial and inquisitorial, you file a complaint and then the fiscal or the prosecutor will conduct preliminary investigation or PI. Okay. So, ano ng oras ba? Okay, so dito tayo, before natin mamaya explain ang types of due process. So we have the Supreme Court class. So if, di ba, under the new TOS, kailangan na natin i-explain ang tinatawag natin na jurisdiction of every courts. So ang Supreme Court or ang SC, of course, tinatawag natin na highest court of the land. Okay, the highest court kasi siya naman talaga yung pinakamataas. Pero pag tinanong sa board exam, what is the highest trial court? Anong isasagot ninyo, class? Pag sinabi niya what is the highest trial court in the country?
RTC, sir.
C. Okay, very good. So pag sinabi nating highest court, yan yung Supreme Court. So tinatawag rin siyang review court class kasi nga hindi sila nagkakandak ng trial and hearing dyan. Ang ginagawa nila, class sa Supreme Court is the automatic review of the case. Automatic nila na nire-review ang case kung tama ba ang naging decision ng lower court. So yan yung trabaho ng mga Supreme Court judges natin to automatic or to review the case. Then tinatawag rin siya na appellate court. So tumatanggap siya ngayon, class, ng appeal na nanggaling sa tinatawag natin na Court of Appeals, di ba? Court of Appeals, iakyat sa Supreme Court. So yan yung tinatawag natin. Kaya tinawag rin siya na appellate court. Ibig sabihin, inaakyat sa kanya ang kaso. Ibig sabihin siya yung last arbiter of the law. Siya yung last na magde-decide ngayon kung guilty ba or not guilty ang tao na yon. So that is appellate. And of course, ang Supreme Court, class, that is the only constitutional court in the Philippines. Ibig sabihin, that is, siya lang yung nag-iisa na na-create ngayon ng constitution natin. The rest, special law na ang nag-create. Kaya tinatawag natin yan na constitutional court, ang Supreme Court, ang the rest naman, statutory courts ang tawag natin doon. Okay, so yan. Nakuha ba? Then, tandaan niyo, class, ang Supreme Court, meron siyang tinatawag na automatic review kapag death penalty yan. Okay, but of course, death penalty is temporarily suspended sa Pilipinas. Kapag hinatulan ka ng death penalty, class, marireduce yan into reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment. So kapag sa Supreme Court, kapag automatic review of the death penalty, so automatic kukunin niya yan kapag death penalty. So that is the automatic review. Then ang Supreme Court, class, meron silang or that is composed of 15 justices, isang Chief Justice, and meron silang 14 associate justices. Yan yung tinatawag natin na Supreme Court. 15 justices, isang Chief Justice, and merong 14 associate justices. Yan yung tinatawag natin, class, na Supreme Court. The highest court in the Philippines or the highest court of the land. Nakuha ba? Nakuha niyo, class?
Yes, sir.
Aside from that, ang Supreme Court, dapat tandaan ninyo na ang Supreme Court, class, it is considered also as what we call the yung in times of peace and in times of war, it is considered as a regular court. Tinawag siya na regular court, class, kasi in times of peace and in times of war, the operation of the Supreme Court is still continue or operational pa rin. Kahit meron tayong giyera na kinakaharap, ang operation nila is continue pa rin yan. So unlike sa Court of Appeals down to MTC, of course, magsa-stop muna yan for a while kapag merong giyera na kinakaharap ng Pilipinas. But ang Supreme Court, tinatawag siya na regular court kasi in times of peace and in times of war, the Supreme Court is still operational. Okay? So yun, class, ang kaibahan nila. Okay. Then i-explain natin muna ang Court of Appeals before tayo mag-break. Kasi kailangan natin uminom ng tubig. Kasi masyadong mainit ang panahon. Okay, so yan. Pag sinabi natin Court of Appeals, so, okay. Yan, yan dyan, sir. Okay, yes, tama. Oo. Yung kay ano natin. Then we have the Court of Appeals, class, or the CA. Kung ang Supreme Court composed of 15 justices, sa Court of Appeals naman, class, binubuo yan ngayon ng 69 justices. Okay, again, ang Court of Appeals, binubuo yan ngayon ng 69 justices, isang presiding judge. Hindi na siya tinatawag, class, na Chief Justice, ang tawag na sa pinaka-head nila na judge yan is a presiding judge. Then merong 68 associate justices. Again, under the Court of Appeals, binubuo yan ng 69 justices, isang presiding judge, and merong 68 associate justices. Then, ang Court of Appeals, of course, the annulment of judgment of the RTC, ibig sabihin, it is an appellate court naman, di ba? It is an appellate court kung saan tumatanggap sila ng appeal or yung mga decided cases na nanggaling ngayon sa RTC or the regional trial courts natin. So yung mga petitions for certiorari, prohibition and mandamus against the RTC, so sila ang nagbibigay class, yung Court of Appeal. So ang Court of Appeal, same as true with yung tinatawag natin na Supreme Court as a review court. Ibig sabihin, nire-review nila yung kaso na nanggaling ngayon sa tinatawag natin na RTC or the Regional Trial Court. So yan yung trabaho ng what we call Court of Appeals. Okay, so before tayo mag-end, so i-explain muna natin what yung jurisdiction naman ni Sandigan Bayan. Okay, ang Sandigan Bayan, mag-break bala. Sorry. Okay, akala ko kakain na. So pag sinabi natin Sandigan Bayan class, composed yan ng 9 justices. Then of course, isang presiding judge, 8 associate justices. Again, ang Sandigan Bayan binubuo ng isang presiding judge, then 8 associate justices. Then ang kaniyang jurisdiction class is on the violation of Republic Act 3019 or yung mga anti-graft and corruption natin. Okay, yan yung jurisdiction ngayon ni Sandigan Bayan. So yan yung ano natin. Then of course, yung Republic Act 1379 or yung Unexplained Wealth Act. So hindi mo alam kung saan nanggaling yung kanyang yung kayamanan. So that is jurisdiction rin ng Sandigan Bayan. So ang provincial heads or mga city heads na merong salary grade 27 and up, that is the jurisdiction class ngayon ng Sandigan Bayan. So hindi lahat ng mga public officer or employee papasok agad sa Sandigan Bayan. Kasi of course, meron tayong tinitingnan na tinatawag natin na salary grade. Kapag salary grade 27 and up, that is the jurisdiction ngayon ng Sandigan Bayan. Kapag salary grade 27 and below, of course, hindi yan papasok ngayon class sa Sandigan Bayan. Pupunta yan ngayon sa MTC. Kapag natalo sa MTC, of course, i-appeal sa RTC hanggang sa Sandigan Bayan. And of course, sa Supreme Court. But if patrolman or PO1 committed a crime in relation to his official functions, he will appeal his case to Sandigan Bayan. So mamaya i-explain ko yan sa inyo. But if not in relation to his office, he can appeal to CA. Kapag regular crime class, halimbawa ang na-commit class ng PO1. Okay, kapag na-commit ng PO1 or patrolman is in relation to his official functions, halimbawa sa corruption, tapos nahatulan siyang guilty sa RTC, saan niya i-appeal? Saan niya i-appeal class? Ang kaso niya? Okay, saan niya i-appeal? Again, clear naman dyan nakalagay, di ba? So again, kapag halimbawa, regular, kapag in relation to his official functions, halimbawa na-involve siya sa corruption, okay, saan niya ngayon i-appeal ang kaso niya? Bakit Court of Appeal? Sa Sandigan Bayan, of course. Di ba nakalagay dyan, no? If patrolman committed a crime in relation to official function, he will appeal his case to Sandigan Bayan kapag natalo siya sa MTC class. Sandigan Bayan class. Okay, ngayon, halimbawa, kapag si patrolman, ang crime na nakomit niya is homicide, saan niya ngayon ikakaso or saan niya ngayon i-appeal ang kaso niya? Okay, homicide. Nahatulan siyang guilty sa RTC. Of course, sa Court of Appeals niya ngayon, class, i-appeal ang kaso niya. Kasi nga nahatulan siya ng guilty ng homicide sa RTC. So sa CA niya ngayon, i-appeal. Nakuha ba ninyo ang explanation natin? Again, hindi lahat ng public officer or employee, ang jurisdiction niyan is Sandigan Bayan. Tinitingnan natin yan kapag depende sa salary grade. Halimbawa, si patrolman nahatulan ng guilty in relation to his official functions or duty, tapos guilty siya sa MTC, guilty rin sa RTC, i-appeal niya ngayon ang kaso niya sa Sandigan Bayan. Tapos kapag regular crime yan or yung hindi naman relation sa duty niya, halimbawa homicide, murder, or rape, okay, hindi related yan sa kanyang function. Tapos, kapag nahatulan siyang guilty sa RTC, of course, i-appeal niya yan sa Court of Appeals kasi regular crime ang nakomit niya. Nakuha ba? Kasi, class, si Court of Appeals, si Sandigan Bayan, again, si Court of Appeals and Sandigan Bayan, they are co-equal. Magkaparehas yan sila. Nakuha? Si Sandigan Bayan at si Court of Appeals, co-equal yan sila. Ang CA, doon kapag regular crime, doon mo i-appeal. Sa Sandigan Bayan Court naman, doon mo i-appeal kapag ang kaso na nakomit mo is in relation to public office or official functions. Nakuha ba? Nakuha ba ninyo, class? Okay na?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, dapat clear kayo na. Kasi,
Question po, sir.
yes, sino yung may question? Sige, raise your hand.
Yung dun sa provincial heads po, sir. Yung
Yes, yes.
provincial heads po, sir, ang rank po nila is police colonel. Paano po pag ang nag-commit ng graft or corruption is police lieutenant colonel po, sir? Hindi po ba papasok sa Sandigan Bayan yun, sir?
Depende sa salary grade na ano natin. Kasi ang salary grade, actually, every year, nag-upgrade ang salary grade natin. So, ipapakita ko sa inyo ang salary grade natin ngayon. Ay, parang na-post ko yan sa Facebook.
Anong-
Nakita nyo ba? Nakita ninyo?
Anong rank po, sir, para pumasok dun sa salary grade 27, sir?
27. Sige, ano natin, kasi ang salary grade every year yan nag-change. So ito na lang, isi-send ko na lang sa GC natin. Hindi nyo ba tinitingnan yung mga pinopost ko doon sa Facebook? Nandun yun eh. Kailan lang. Yes, last week ko lang ata na post ang salary grade. Wait lang, class. Para ano natin makita natin yung update kasi every yan nag-change ang ito. Kapag kapag patrolman or patrolwoman sa ngayon salary grade 13. Salary grade 13 yung ano mo. So 29,668 yung monthly base pay. Kapag salary grade 27 plus nasa ano siya nasa dito ngayon nasa Police Lieutenant General. So ang class. So masyadong mataas, no? So sinabi kasi
Ano yun,
ng
sir? Pag ang nag-commit ng krimen, sir,
oo.
police colonel, hindi po papasok sa ano yun, sir, Sandigan Bayan kasi sabi
Kapag
niyo po,
police colonel, salary grade 23 lang naman siya. So, hindi siya papasok. Parang ganon.
so
Parang
2-star general lang po yung pwedeng pumasok dun, sir.
yes. Kasi every year kasi, na ano yan, na-update yung ating salary grade, lalong-lalo na sa PNP. So, ayan. Nakita nyo na ba to yung salary grade o hindi? Nakita nyo ba? Nakita ba ninyo, class? Nakita or hindi? Wala sumasagot? Nawala kayo? Nakita nyo ang salary grade or hindi? O, di ba? O, yung...
Hindi po, sir, saan po ba naipasa yun, sir?
ay, hindi nyo nakita. Dapat kayong unang makakita yung mga pinopost ko sa Facebook. Di ba? Kasi mas nauna pa yung mga ibang review center nakakita, di ba? So, ayan, sa GC, nakalagay dyan. Yan yung updated salary grade class. Sa board exam naman, hindi naman sila doon maglalagay ng colonel and Ang ilalagay lang dito, si police officer is meron siyang salary grade 27. So yun lang isa sa ilalagay niya doon, parang general. Tapos saan ba yung sino ba yung may jurisdiction diyan? 'Di ba parang last February lumabas rin? Tama ba ako, Sir Victor? Oh, 'di ba? So ganun ang linabas nila. Kapag
Ay,
may
hindi po ba? Yes, sir. Sige, sir, thank you, sir.
no problem. Okay. So kapag yung nilabas nila yung police officer daw may salary grade 27, 'di ba? Parang ganoon, Sir Roger, no? Pero pero kapag alam mo yung updated salary grade, so yun. Yun yung ano natin. Kasi dati ito yung ano natin dati eh. Pero ngayon nabago na yan. So kailangan nating baguhin na. Basta ang tandaan nyo lang, kapag salary grade 27 class, kay Sandigan Bayan. Kapag hindi na yan papasok sa Sandigan Bayan. So basta alam nyo yun, kapag salary grade 27 up, nasa jurisdiction yan ng Sandigan Bayan. Kapag hindi na yan papasok doon. Okay, nakuha ba, class? Okay, clear tayo. Nandun na sa GC, dapat may mga ina-upload ako dyan sa Facebook page ko palagi from time to time. Minsan kasi nakakalimutan ko i-send rin. So akala ko naman sine-check ninyo. I-check nyo palagi from time to time, pina-upload ko yan para dapat una kayong makakita. Saan papasok, sir, pag di umabot sa salary grade 27 up. Kapag hindi aabot sa Salary Grade 27 Act, mamaya i-explain natin dito ang jurisdiction ng RTC and of course yung tinatawag natin class na MTC. Okay, so ayan yung ano natin. Okay, dito tayo mamaya. Okay, sa pagbalik natin class, i-explain natin ang jurisdiction or saan papasok. Okay. Mhm. Okay, saan papasok ngayon class? Kung sa RTC ba or sa MTC? Okay, mag-break muna kayo. Then after that, ano tayo? Mag-continue tayo mamaya. Okay? Sige. Masyadong mainit. Okay. Same link pala tayo class Same link tayo mamaya. Okay, thank you. Ay, sana yun.